There's clearly something down here. Hello! Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Welcome back to Dishonored, where I was just refamiliarizing myself with the controls, since I don't have sprint on shift anymore, but on my mouse. Gonna have to do that a lot. When I came across this thing, it lights up, and it makes a sound. Gonna have to remember this one for later. Just like I have to remember the freaking elixir up there that I can't get to just yet. Because I can't jump that far. I just can't jump that far. Last time we basically escaped from the sewers and met the loyalists. I think they were called not royalists, but loyalists. Here in the Hound Pits. We talked to them, and I'm a little bit wary about them still. I did just get kind of betrayed by the spy master and the high overseer. But maybe these people with their ginormous hands can help me. Anyway, we are going to rest if I can find my way up. There's my sprint button. Again, on my mouse. If only because you have to slide with crouch, and crouch is on control. And I tried to bind crouch to something else, but then the slide wouldn't work. Exact same problem I had in Cyberpunk 2077.
Is the man dangerous?
Yes, very much so, but no need to fear. He is here to work with our masters.
Masters?
People say he killed the Empress.
Of course he didn't. People are foolish and believe whatever they're told.
Okay.
I used to be the hostess
the Admiral
here.
trust him?
Oh, I can tell
And
you
so will
stories
I.
about that, believe me.
Don't come and interrupt my talks, Lydia. My eavesdropping, Cecilia.
The Admiral served in the Navy under the Empress. But something happened with the Lord Regent that drove the Admiral out. If I understand it right.
Yeah, the Lord Regent is a prick. Big prick. I have already been in my bed. I kinda got in the wrong way. Wallace?
Please follow me to your quarters.
No need. I've been here already. I know where they are. They are right here. Up. My room. Ooh. Hello. Didn't see this before. Probably because I didn't really explore my room. I just went in and then went down. Oh, is this where the inventor lives? I don't remember his name now. He's cooking something. Maybe that's from downstairs. Still not really how keyholes work, but sure. Oh. And wait, can I go through here? I can, but I don't really see if there is ground there. Okay. Can I? Nope. Can't jump that. Well, a little bit of exploring done. Let's see, and of course we have books. Oh, we have something else here. Money? Money? Money. I needed money to buy more bolts. More sleep bolts, because I purchased a larger inventory of bolts, but not bolts themselves. Creepy dolls. Call to the Spheres, Volume 1. Excerpt from a work of fiction, early chapters. My stomach twisted as the engines of the odd vessel roared louder. It was the creation of Orcado, third prefect from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was exhilarated, savoring each of the small craft's undulations. Orcado pulled a lever and a great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smell of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself upward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough. As if knowing my thoughts, Overseer Bryn looked at me and smiled. Recite some of the litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on our way to the outer spheres. Outer spheres, so some kind of in new note added to journal? Just because I read that. I'm gonna in-game, in-universe, multiverse, outer planets? Maybe? What do we have here? The Trials of Aptitude. Excerpt from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Once a child shows the proper inclination, he is marked. I have read this already, I remember that one. Because the children are marked and they become overseers, and then only the people who were worthy to become overseers get to leave there alive. The rest of the children are killed. Fugue Feast. Excerpt from a book on the celebrations and holidays. At the end of every year, after the last day of the month of songs, we begin the Fugue Feast. The new year has not started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their homes euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. They get drugged up. Okay. Some paint their faces, not point. They don't point their faces, they paint their faces, or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. So they are Elysian Court. When the right cosmological signs are observed and it is time for the calendar to begin anew, the sitting high overseer calls for the hymn of atonement and the fugue feast ends. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands. Enemies put down their weapons and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or discarded oaths. For this time during the astrological alignment does not exist and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, as it has always been. So they have a calendar, and the very end of it doesn't exist, so nothing that happens. So they basically have an in-game purge for a week or so, or a few days at least. This sounds horrible. I wonder, isn't our calendar kind of like that? That the day, the year is not exactly 365 days, and there are not always exactly 52 weeks. Sometimes there's half a week that goes into week 53. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if we took those extra days that happen and just said that, yeah, everyone, days off, full payment. No need to do anything, just go and be merry and have fun. Just free vacation. This
is your room.
Relaxation.
It's chosen to give you privacy. I understand you'll need your rest.
Yeah, I think that would be very beneficial for all of us. Okay, for privacy. But there's no door to my room, so privacy and very many holes so people can eavesdrop. At least... okay, I have a door here. I still can't get that one. Okay, I have a door. So anyone who breaches the lower floors, where there's probably not much security, will... Hello, where did you come from? You have keys. Can I steal the keys? I want the keys, Lydia.
You can call on Cecilia for the more menial tasks. It's what she's suited for.
Oh, so condescending. For the menial tasks, that's what she's suited for. Me. So yeah, if anyone breaches this house, I am screwed. Because they can just sneak up here and kill me in my sleep. Oh, there's actually a door here. A little bit better. So many ways out means so many ways in. I am not secure here. But I guess we go to sleep. I'll go to sleep now because I can't really do anything else. somewhere else. No, this is still here. This is not somewhere else. It's the night, maybe? It's raining. Oh, I love the rain. Now I suddenly have a door. What? Hello? This was open before. This was not bricked over. This was not here. That door was definitely not there. What the hell? This is. What was that? Was that a rat or? Okay, that one is still there. Same as there. The finest ladies in all the Isles on the Golden Cat. I might have to pay that a visit then. Is this my toilet? Uncomfortable. No, that's probably my where I splash face. Splash face on my water in the morning. But yeah, this was not bricked up. This door was not here. A visit from the outsider. Something's not right. No shoot. That's a floating rock. Okay, I don't think we're in my dimension anymore. Nope, definitely not. Oh. Okay. Sure. This is not freaky at all. Strange gravity. Everything here is... There's strange gravity all over the place. The gravity is screwed up.
Hello, Corvo.
Hi.
Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the Void.
The Void?
I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that men call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will.
Magic?
Use this newfound power. My gift to you. Come find me.
Why though? Why are you doing this? Power blink. Ooh, now I can. Oh, now I can get that thingy. Press right mouse button to execute a fast and stealthy forward dash through the world. You can also use it to move upward, but the distance is reduced. Aiming at ledges will allow you to blink forward and climb up. Hold to target your destination with precision. A blue sphere indicates that you should reach your destination. A blue arrow indicates that you will climb up when you reach your destination. Okay. Okay, so if I just... That's a quick one. And it has a slight cooldown, it looks like. Oh, I have mana now. And it kinda replenishes a little bit. Okay, so I can choose distance too, and I can cancel it. Mana regen? Mana regen, okay. I can just spam it. Well, I could. And then if I do that, that's when my mana depletes. Have to let it regenerate or it actually depletes. Okay. Don't spam it, you nincompoop. That's a fancy boat. That's definitely a chest, but I can't open it. It's an outsider. And he wants me to do stuff. What if I don't want to doink do stuff? I mean, I am definitely going to... This is where the Empress died. Definitely going to find Emily. Wink. Watch your step. Okay. Fallen letter. Isn't that the letter I gave her? You cannot save her, you cannot save her, you cannot... Oh, thanks for the guilt trip. Piero's spiritual remedy. Remedy, not remedy, remedy. That... Oh, that's what the note was talking about. The difference between Sokolov's and Piero's things. That Piero's concoction also soothed or healed the mind and the spirit, but that was a little bit diffuse, so I could understand why people didn't. Press unbound to drink a mana potion. What? Press unbound. Zoom. Block choke. Mana elixir is not bound. Okay. Quick access wheel is there. Block is there. Health is there. Sprint is there. Am I using this one? No. Mana elixir is now on that one. I think. Did I then? Quick save on V, as it should be. Powers many P. Can I? I hate it when I can't find that button. I mean, maybe if I do that on 9, no, do that on 7, and zoom on 9. I don't think I have anything I can zoom with yet. Ah, shoot! I have lean left on those. Never mind. Lean left and right. Crap. I have to have zoom there, but it's on subtract now. Okay, zoom is on subtract. And mana elixir. Running out of buttons. Let's see. How much is my regular MMO bindings on? Mana elixir on F. F sounds good. F for frick, I need mana. Okay. But I don't want to drink a mana potion. I have enough mana right now. Whoop. And wait for it to regenerate. So I don't have to drink the mana potion. What? That's Emily. And... Is that the Spy Master? Can't really see from here. You two are twins. Kind of. Emily's letter. Corvo, I am very sad. They say that you are dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. So very polite. Whale oil, fish, black crab, river crust, okay. So whale oil is basically there, isn't that? I don't know where it is exactly, but we kind of make some, or made some perfumes from ambra, whale ambra, whatever. All right. A bit of a challenge indeed. No. Mana? Mana. There's the Spy Master. I'm gonna stab you in the face so much. And you're playing with your action figures, trying to figure out how to Either take over the city or which places to block off because of the rat plague? You seem kind of frustrated. Good. Miss Ing people. Dunwall. That's where I am. I think. Bastillen. Alright. Map of the world. Oh. What are you? Oh, I thought you were something very weird, but you're just kind of guards on weird stilts shooting people with incendiary arrows? There's a whale, by the way. Yeah, you're just regular guards. Walking on mechanical stilts. Use blind. Already forgot I could use it to climb. Thank you, the game. Yes. The hell? The arrows. Even if I do it just there, it... Okay. Don't have to aim exactly for the ledge. Good. There's the outsider. So are they... have they resorted to killing civilians just because they have the rat plague now then? I mean... yeah, might as well do this while I have the mana. Blow the candles. I don't know why, but sure. Gnarled old tree. Didn't I see this one in the courtyard? Or the plaza, whatever. I think so. Or at least a very similar one.
In the days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you locate bone charms or runes. Even through walls. Bone charms or runes? They are different things. The heart beats and lights up when you are facing a bone charm or rune, and it beats faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press the right mouse button while targeting a person or location. I'm not... and it moves and pulsates. I don't like that. Okay, at least it doesn't move all the time, but that... yeah. Oh. Okay, you only do that while I'm facing... okay. How do I... oh, okay. The mouse wheel changes between powers? Okay. Scheiße. Oh, I can't have mana elixir on F. Guess I'm gonna have to... I can't have quick save on V. Let's have you on... comma. probably never gonna use quick save anyway. Let's see. F, V, no. Crap. G, B, H. F, V, G, B, H. And I screwed up something. Sword attack on left mouse button, please. Now, I have not seen any kind of reload action, so I guess mana potion elixir can be for R on recharge your damn mana. Let's see. F for creepy hurt and V for blinky blink. And you only see the rune while the heart is up. I'm just gonna have to ignore the heart moving. Just stare right ahead. Ignore the heart. Also, thank you. Anything up here? Aha! More mana potions. Yes, elixir. I'm gonna say potions. They are now potions. Yuck. I'm gonna get used to that eventually. Just not yet. It is down there. But what's down here? Let's take a look this way first. Another way down? Okay, might as well go down over here then. You can sprint with it equipped. Good. Bonk. No fall damage from that height. Chest. Guessing I have to go that way? Yes, I do. Okay. So no exploratory paths, just well, except for the mana potion. Whoop. Mana potion? Mana potion. How many of those can I hold? Wait, hold 6. Ah. Okay, I can do that too. That... Ooh, it still moves. It's just slow motion. Gotcha. I have 0 health potions? Okay. I can't get over there, so I have to do this in 2 short trips. Yep. Rune. Once you've collected some runes, open the journal and go to the power section to exchange them for powers. Runes can be collected and used to acquire supernatural powers. Time thingy, wind thingy, eye of Kilrog, mage hand, summon familiar, blink, vampire, glory bee, crouching flash, and disintegrate. I don't know. Oh, dark vision. See in the dark and see living beings through walls, including their field of vision. Ooh. And you can level them up. Yeah, dark vision is highly useful for stealth. I kind of figured. I might actually want that one because I am currently sucking much when it comes to being stealthy. See tutorial? No. Possession, not Mage Hand, costs 3 runes. Okay, I can only buy Dark Vision. You want me... Oh, I can buy Vitality. Not Glory Be, but Vitality. Just more health? That's boring. Bloodthirsty. Kind of vampire? Build up adrenaline, then trigger brutal melee fatalities. No, not taking that one. I don't want... Agility! Crouching Flash. Jump height is increased and falling damage is reduced. And then overall movement... Oh, kind of want that one. No. Devouring Swarm. Well, that could be good for stealth, actually. Consume corpses. Assuming the swarm then disappears after they consume the corpse. That depends on how they define short duration. Wind Blast. Push back or knock down enemies and shatter doors. But I wanna be as stealthy as possible. Okay, so level 2. Sorry. Just longer. But yeah, Dark Vision. Yes. Press right button to see in the dark and reveal living things through solid walls. You can also see their fields of view, as well as a visual representation of the sounds you make. Level 2 shows you important items through walls like security devices, weapons, ammo, coins, keys, or traps. Okay.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
So I am not the only chosen one. Meet with the loyalists in the circle. There have been other chosen ones before me. And there will probably be other chosen ones after me. Once we have done what we need to do. Mission clues updated. Piero is an inventor. Yes, I know. Piero spends most... I know. Equip that. You weren't there before. Bone Charms? Bone Charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 Bone Charms at once in the Bone Charm section of the journal. Okay. I now have 3 Bone Charms. Void Channel. The Journal of Granny Rags? Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. And anytime I say dearie, I can only think about Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. What are you, a witch? No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera Moray, everyone would say, your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better, even. Your dinners are lavish, and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie. wet with his paint glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles. Beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandysia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves. Not together, but crawl through the caves. Holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones carved so deep and polished so bright. The outsider. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so not the outsider. And you made bone charms? All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwell Tower, the royal headsman himself now, my little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. The boy grew up to be the executioner? Okay. That's why he had an abundance of bones to give to you? Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup and then he was sick. Yeah, if you made soup from human bones, yeah. Okay. Better bones was all, for my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. Oh, never mind. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. My husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts? You chopped up your husband and used his bone to make bone charms and gave them away? Oh, Granny Rags, you... weird. The bad kind of weird, not the good kind of weird, the bad kind of weird. So now I'm old and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for Granny Rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie. Especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boys always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end we'll be together with him, you and me and the dreary night with stars above and below, and always the one with the black eyes, dearie. So Granny Rags is still alive then? Mystical. What am I collecting? What the hell is a whale artifact? Hound artifacts? Pouch? Early life and criminal record. Slackjaw. That's the leader of the Bottle Boys thingy. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street gang. You want the chinwag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang. Time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the street, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns no more, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or a sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the splits. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. Okay? More food and more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we're all taking in a bawdy show in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Blackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's gonna be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points at the door and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Ooh, okay, he's not gonna let that go. Waking up the next day without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along, because his jaw was broken. Okay. We stop at the docks and Slackjaw buys, actually pays coin for it. A heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off it at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach the girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw out in the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door, bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds onto the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hooks sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that, and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going, until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, and here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck it to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-eyed Trish even came back missing a thumb. But apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market. Another slipping and falling into the water, out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly open wide, and a Tyvian pear stuffed into his mouth. Okay, pear? Still not sure what that meant. No, me neither. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Ooh, ouch. Okay. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters. Offers to the underbosses telling them they would be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-eyed Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his business real neat-like. Calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus. Showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster's snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms along the shopkeepers and the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running their hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first, it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick, and everyone wanted to buy those potions from either Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir or spiritual remedy they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still, where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir, Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everybody in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while there were so many people down with plague that everyone got scared. Everyone started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down, or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burroughs took over and the watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and them arc pylons. Tall boys, would that be the people on mechanical stilts? Arc pylons, that sounds electricity-like. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch with their taxes and rations. And that's kept us alive so far. Crowley, a Ball Street gang. That was way too much to read. Oh. Okay, so that's your song. I have a lot of bone charms. Field survey notes, the Royal Spy. How much? There's so much. I'm not used to talking this much. Excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I would have expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade, which would be Granny Rag's little mute boy. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that need removing. Confirmed. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us, but I know they do. They must. Is this the Spymaster? Or... because I don't think we know the Spymaster's name, just that he was the Spymaster. No, Jessamine would rather spend her time with the Royal Protector. That's me. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. It also won't stop teleporting enemies. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, yet her mother spoils her and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Caldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I would seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The Wartlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it, mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plan for the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his invention deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the Watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. That way is corruption. Perhaps I have been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order. Perhaps somewhere nice in the estate districts. Hey, Hiram Burroughs, Royal Spy Master. Okay, so it is him. So he was very paranoid, didn't like anything. Musical fish? More bone charms? How many charms is that? 3, 6, 9, 12? Rumors and sightings. Dowd? Overseer's covert field report. For over a year now, I have lived away from the Abbey without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut-purses, murderers, and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times, I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs. Bottle Street and Hatter gangs? And by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. Assassins. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who are not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. Yeah, that's also a road to corruption. You are really far down that road, yes. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos of the Pandysian coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning and in hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself. And, for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. All the while he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the Outsider. So the Outsider has his fingers in many pies. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke, like the Empress assassins. From a nearby rooftop, he gestured and a noble woman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment, used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed even, not haberweed. An occult shrine has been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit, as if in argument. He took a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dowd is an agent of the Outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until Dowd is dead, and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until Dowd breathes no more. So this kinda throws suspicion on Dowd being the assassin, but he also said that he wouldn't drop the guise until Dowd breathes no more, which means that either those assassins were either they were people hired by him after he somehow managed to kill Dowd, or he actually got close to Dowd and is working with him. This also shows that the Outsider likes to stir up trouble. Because if Dowd was also a chosen one by the Outsider, and he used all his magic things to do bad things. Mystical red artifact, almost missed that one. So that means you're definitely free to do whatever the hell you want to do. And the Outsider is just there for crap and giggles. A new day. Speak to Admiral Havelock in the bar. Optional, the rune. I have 2,434. How did I get 2,434 coins? Were those mystical artifacts turned into coin and I didn't notice? Because there's no way I had 2,434. Bone charms. I can activate up to 7. Ooh. Quick dodge, yes. That sounds good. Enemies miss more often with arrows and bolts. No, because I'm not gonna assassinate people. Swim speed increased slightly. Breaking glass sound is moderately reduced. Moderate keyhole peeping magnification. Voyeur. Good lungs. Oh, you can stay longer underwater. Win sword versus sword contests more frequently. Damage from explosions reduced slightly. Shot whiskey bottles explode. No. Powers effects slightly improved. Sure. White rats can be consumed for mana. Eat rats. White rats won't attack you. Good. I guess in case now they are my friends and I can eat them. Let's have some. You can stay underwater longer. And breaking glass sound is moderately reduced. I haven't broken glass yet, but sure, maybe when I throw bottles. But I kinda don't want that reduced because I want that. Whatever. Sure. Let's be master peepers. No, here are the artifacts. One additional bone charm, bone charm, bone charm, bone charm. Okay, that's what they do. So where the hell did all my money come from? Anyway, I know there's something behind here. Nope, not the heart. Oh, wait a minute. That's the sleep darts, I think. Yes. Maybe it's better to do this so I don't do bad things. Aha, I want you. Whatever you are. Processed whale oil. Just money? I did that whole thing for just 30 money? Ah, fine. Now, Piero, you have a few upgrades I want. And this is not the... Wait, where was Piero? In that house. Gee, okay, you're in here. Except you're not. Oh, Piero. Huh. So I can't upgrade right now?
Does part of the soul live in the heart? If the heart keeps beating, does that mean that the spirit is never released into oblivion? I can keep a heart beating forever with electricity, but what does that mean for any essence trapped within? It'd be easier if I created these processes in waking hours. I am uneasy pursuing avenues that emanate from my dreaming mind.
That voice is so extremely familiar to me. For some reason I get a flash of... if you've seen Star Trek Voyager, when Tuvok mind melds with the Betazoid male who is kind of extremely violent, basically a serial killer, that guy? I think that sounds extremely like him, at least. Can I upgrade stuff?
Havelock stopped in earlier, but I forgot what he wanted. He's waiting to see you, I believe.
Yoink. Mine now. Okay, let's see. Heart? There's a rune somewhere. Over there. Get that one, then talk to Havelock. And maybe then I can actually upgrade stuff. Oh, you're quite a bit away. Whoop. There's my breath meter. Okay. Yeah, my heart was equipped, but I have to swim. Stupid fish! Stupid fish. The powers you obtain from runes can be used creatively to defeat enemies or move through the environment. Blink from roof to roof, possess rats and fish, or slow time before rushing a group of enemies. How about we just try and not kill more people? I have killed enough people, I think. Okay, I have one rune. What would I want to upgrade? I don't know. Let's just gotta learn. 3 is would be my sleep darts. No. Freaking fish. 3 for sleep darts, F for heart, V for sappy. I see the fish. And it's still not shift. That's my sprint anymore. F for heart, V for teleport, 3 for sleep dart. And try not to kill things. Okay, let's see what Emerald Havelock wants.
But he won't use it.
Why?
He can't sleep in regular beds anymore, or that's what he says. Says he was in the Navy too long. Can you believe it?
Oh,
That pile of wood out there? It's a hovel he built from an old rowboat. Where does Admiral Havelock find these people, I wonder?
Maybe they find him. The desperate and the needy. What's this? Yeah, let go, please. Jump off, thank you. Anything nearby? No. Yes, not. I guess that has quite a long range. So, more money for me, money that I don't need right now because I can't upgrade. Old Port District sewer key needed. Aw. Keep climbing, keep climbing. So you can't grab the ledges when jumping off a chain. Gotcha.
Well, let's get down to it.
Sure.
First off, I know that assassination is dark business, but sometimes good men have to do bad things to make the world right. Our purpose is clear. We want to restore Her Majesty's line by finding and putting Emily Kaldwin on the throne. To those ends, we'll hide, act in shadow, take them apart, piece by piece. Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand. It won't be easy. He's protected by his overseers, an army of religious zealots. But if anyone can do it, you can. Your exploits are legendary. Campbell carries a private journal. Once you've eliminated him, get the journal, because we think it contains Emily's location. Recovering her is obviously critical, assuming she's alive. That's the gist of it. Remember our cause and strike true. We're counting on you. Another thing. Campbell is holding a former overseer by the name of Martin. He's one of us, and if you manage to find him, give him whatever help you can. He's a master strategist, and he got caught working for our cause. It'd be good to have him back here at the Hound Pits.
Okay, so you want Emily back on the throne, which is fine. But who's going to help her rule? Who's going to be a regent? And I mean, I don't like the overseer or the spy master, and I have said I want to stab them in the face. But if you think about it, right now I only have evidence that they basically took over when the Empress was gone. But on the other hand, in the whole torture thing, didn't they talk about actually planning to get rid of me? That implies they're kind of behind the assassination, but doesn't confirm it. I need evidence before I kill people, I think. Hello, Cecilia.
Good day, Master Corvo.
You're the one who can only do menial tasks, according to the snobby maid. Something feels a little bit off. And it's not just because you have gigantic hands. I need to know more about your plans once we put Emily on the throne. The Exquisite Tall Boy. Excerpt from a letter of public concern by anonymous authors. What you've read here is the truth, regardless of what you will hear from the authorities who rule over us. It is not a matter of coincidence that the former royal spy master is the one who stepped in when the late empress fell. We, who will remain nameless, believe that these events are interconnected. That's kind of the problem with anonymity. If you remain anonymous and spout things like this, no one can actually confirm or deny. Well, they can deny, but it's gonna be possible to confirm things unless you actually stand behind your words. But sometimes anonymity is unfortunately needed, like in the case of whistleblowers, which I guess you kinda maybe would be, depends on what have you written. The signs of oppression are all around us. The Sokolov designs, originally intended to provide light and warmth in our homes, have been turned against us as a mean of inspiring fear and controlling our movements through the city. And where did this plague originate? Some say it was imported. A wild theory? Perhaps. Yeah, okay, so you still don't know how the plague got to the city. Okay. One of our members risked her life to obtain an internal report from the government, which we will be printing and sharing soon, called The Exquisite Tall Boy, extolling the virtues of this newest member of the City Watch. To those in the streets below, these virtues are horrors spread by stilted thugs who rain down fire on the sick and the poor. To these eyes, the tall boy is another government bully armed with incendiary devices, thickly armored and standing high overhead, looking down at the common people of the city. We now know that the tall boys are heavily drugged, imbibing a substance that renders them resistant to pain, but also dulls whatever empathy they might normally possess. Exquisite? We think not. Copy these words and share them with your neighbors, and remember, when the tides are lowest, the truth will be revealed. Yeah, I kind of want to know more about these drugs. Because if that is true, that's... Oh. Hi?
Corvo. Hello. I'm Callista. I work here for Admiral Havelock. I'm sorry to intrude on your business, but this is important. I suspect you're going to kill the High Overseer. That wretched man. There's really no reason for you to listen to me. But my uncle, Jeff Kernow, still serves as captain in the City Watch. But he's a good man, and my only family. The chatter in servant circles is that Campbell just took delivery of an exotic poison. And I think I know why. My uncle's not corruptible like the rest of them. Campbell is going to poison my uncle. Do you think you could protect him? You used to do that, right? Before you had your current profession. Before you became an assassin.
Hey, I'm not an assassin yet. I haven't assassinated people. I've killed people in self-defense. But, okay. She has an uncle who's a captain of the Dunwall City Watch. Captain Kernov is a decent man trying to make the best of a corrupt regime and enact change from within. He is meeting much resistance. These are the kind of people you need in a dictatorship, in a non-benevolent dictatorship. I don't think we've had any particularly benevolent dictatorships, but I'm sure they could exist. But anyway, under tyranny, and corrupt regimes. You need people, good people who try to change things from within, while simultaneously trying to change things from without. Yum. Now, Sokolov, not Sokolov, Piero?
What can I do for you?
Upgrade all my stuff. Because I got cash to burn. Wait, Oh, there. You have a rune? Give me a rune. You sell these? Okay. Let me look at the upgrades first. Let's see. Bolt capacity is what I wanted. Yes. I still have 1600 coins. Let's... What does this do? Ooh, zoom. Do I need a zoom? Do I need a zoom? How about we do a... First of all... Oh, shoot. There was a bolt upgrade. Standard bolts. Frick. I wasted money. Damn, maybe I should actually read. Increases standard bolts capacity. I want more sleep bolt capacity. Damn it. Maybe I can use these as distractions though? Shoot a wall and then they go there and then I sneak by? Reload. See, I think about the upgrades so that sleep darts actually work in combat as well. So try and sleep people before you kill them. Definitely more range. Sounds good. Accuracy, yes. I need all the help with hitting I can get. I have a few charms I can swap out if I find better charms. Not fully satisfied with the ones I have. What was the spring razor? Just a trap. Is it a lethal trap or... Rewire tool. Turn security systems to my advantage. But that will also kill people. I don't want that. Maybe this... Sure. Maybe I can zoom in on things and see cool stuff. It did say mask 1, so I assume eventually he will, you know, invent stuff to do better. Yes, sense make. Sense make! And sure, let's buy another one of those. I now have 2 runes. I don't think I can do much with that. Oh, I can upgrade my dark vision. Or my blink. Maybe I should go for this one. Go for blink. Well, let's see. Dark vision is on G. Oh. Hell no, get away. Okay, that's the button I shall try to save your uncle. I gave no guarantees, because I was quite the crappy Lord Protector.
I had a sailor for a boyfriend once. He thought he'd strike gold digging in the Pandician cliffs. They found his ship drifting empty.
And you sound very nonplussed about that. Mean to be fair, the guys killing the Empress was using the powers I have now. They cheated. Samuel, let's go.
Ready to go? Just give the signal.
Take me where I need to go. I put on my cool mask. High Overseer Campbell leads the city's militant religious faction and is a close ally to the Lord Regent. Campbell is completely corrupt and holds the secret to Emily's location. How do we know he's completely corrupt? Infiltrate the office of the High Overseer, steal Campbell's journal, and eliminate him. An ally to the Loyalists, Martin, is being held there. Free him and allow him to escape. It is night.
It'll be a rough trip. Used to be to go straight up Clavering Boulevard, but now it's not so easy. Half the city's dead of the plague. The other half's fighting over what's left. City Watch still holds the bigger streets, and they've set up those wall of light checkpoints. A man walks through one of those, and he ends up burned to a crisp.
Ooh, okay.
Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. And there are the real odd birds living on the fringes, like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts.
She's still alive.
Don't know which is worse. Just take your pick.
I think I'll go with Granny Rags. She seems kind of very dangerous. The City Watch holds Clavering Boulevard beyond the first wall of light. Gonna be interesting to see what that's all about. The Ball Street Gang controls the side streets around Clavering Boulevard, and Granny Rags lives in an apartment at the far end of Endoria Street. Get past the first wall of light. I am optionally use the Bottled Street allies to talk to Granny Rags in her apartment. A lot of optional quests. Optional Granny Rags. Yes. How am I supposed to make sure he survives though? Hide that one because I don't want that one. Whatever. These I want. Wall of Light. Granny Rags. And what are you people doing? What was my zoom again? Not that one. Ooh, that's my zoom. You are just dumping people into the water.
1, 2, 3.
Or? You're trying to hit the boat, but... No, you are throwing them in the boat, okay. Okay, at least you're not just throwing them into the water where fish can nibble on them and then the plague spreads to the fish and then people eat the fish and then more people get sick and then the rest of the town dies. Which would be bad. Yes, overwrite that save. Thank you. So we're going to Granny Rags, past the first wall of light. I'm going to end this episode here. Didn't get much done, but we met the outsider at least. Got a little bit more information about the whole how they got past us and what they did. And you're just okay. Oh, whatever. It kind of feels like the outsider has set a lot of things into motion. He just likes to watch whatever happens. That's the impression I have right now. And everyone's telling me that Campbell is 100% corrupt. I guess I'll take their word for it. I would like to be able to verify it, but I can't right now. And we also have to save her uncle Make sure he survives his visit to the office. Would it be so easy as just stealing the poison, perhaps? I guess I'll find out once we get closer. Getting past the first wall of light and then visiting Granny Rags. Screw the Ball Street boys. They sound... Are you staring at me? Are you staring at me? They sound like more trouble than they are worth. Anyway, like I said, leaving this here. As I said in the beginning, thank you for stopping by, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate you very much. I do hope you take care of yourself, and I wish you nothing but the best.